Good morning, everybody. The date is Monday, May 6th. This is the morning commute, of course, on Dropkick, the Commute, featuring myself and Mufussy. We just want to say we appreciate you very much. We want to thank you for your support. We had quite the insane weekend of pro wrestling. We had Backlash in France, and I'm not gonna talk too in depth about it because I want to talk about it with Mufussy. But my God, what a show and what a crowd! They were going the entire show. They were non-stop. It was insane. And again, we'll talk about it more. The matches, over-delivered in my opinion. Very exciting stuff for WWE. Things keep getting bigger when you don't think they can. Again, we'll talk about it more with Mufussy on the evening commute, of course. But what I do want to talk about while I'm alone here on the morning commute, normally I'd talk about SmackDown or Impact because it was more recent. Truth be told, I didn't see either of them. I was actually on a trip to New York this weekend to go see Death Cab for Cutie in their 20th anniversary tour. Good shit. It was a great show. I missed SmackDown. Didn't have time to watch it this weekend. But I did have time to watch Wednesday Night Dynamite and Rampage because they did a 3-hour program because of the playoffs. I honestly thought this is one of Dynamite's better episodes. You know, Winnipeg knows how to help put on a great show. But yeah, I thought it was one of the more entertaining, is what I'll say about it. We had a lot of interesting developments. We had Christian Cage revealed as the challenger to Swerve Strickland and his AEW World Title. First challenger. They're going to face off at Double or Nothing. And I almost kind of had a feeling it was going to be Christian Cage. I think I might have even mentioned it when we were previewing Dynamite. But Christian Cage, he came out with Mother Wayne and Nick Wayne and Kill Switch, Luchasaurus, whatever you want to call him. I'm still never going to take Kill Switch seriously as long as he looks like a dinosaur. But besides the point, Christian Cage calls back to All In, and he's like, I didn't forget, we teamed together at All In, I trusted you, and you lost the match for us. So there's a little bit of story there. There's also the whole callback to when he went to Buddy Wayne's wrestling school and beat the fuck out of Nick Wayne, which still to this day is one of the most chilling segments ever because it looked so real, and he just fucking beat the hell out of Nick Wayne. So there's that, and again, there's history, and they've been flip-flopping, or at least Swerve has been flip-flopping between a babyface and a heel. And the idea that Nick Wayne, when he got beat up, wasn't even part of Christian's patriarchy yet. It's a little confusing, but you follow along.
How can I help you?
Hi, could I get a large berry burst?
Yeah, for sure. Anything else?
And then could I also get a bacon, egg, and cheese on an English muffin with hash browns?
Yeah, is that going to be it, man?
Yeah.
Also, thank you.
Thanks.
Morning, 10:45.
Thank you. I've probably stated this before, but the berry burst is literally just syrup, and then they take a Poland Spring seltzer and pour it in. I could make this shit at home. Why don't I make it at home? Is beyond me. Thank you so much, you too. Something about someone else making it. I think that's what it comes down to. We had Adam Copeland defend the TNT Championship against Buddy Matthews in what I thought was such a cool match. To see Adam Copeland just continue to defend the title on a weekly basis, and you can tell he said it before, he really is happy to be there, and I think his career is moving at a different level now, but in a good way for him. But to see him move at the same speed as Buddy Matthews and keep the energy up and the conditioning of this man who's 50 years old is incredible to me. Canada, obviously loves Copeland. Buddy Matthews, a superb fucking freak of nature. Copeland gets the W. You start to see the mind games of the House of Black, really take their toll. Copeland goes and grabs a couple chairs, and he's about to do the concerto to Buddy Matthews, and the crowd's going nuts. They're like, fucking do it. And then the lights, he's thinking about it, and then the lights go down, come back up. Malachi Black's there, and he's urging Copeland to do it. And it's very interesting. You almost are like, oh my God, Adam Copeland, is he going to be like recruited to the House of Black or something? But then you see he goes to hit Malachi over the head, and I think they were trying to do it a lot quicker than it appeared on our screen, but he was about to hit Malachi on the head with the chair, and then the lights go out and he's gone. You see in an interview later, Renee is like, hey, what happened out there? Like, are you okay? And he's kind of at a loss for words. He's like, yeah, I'm fine. Like, don't worry about it. And then Kyle O'Reilly shows up, and he's like, hey, if you ever need help, like, I got your back. So that could be a cool little alliance there with Kyle O'Reilly and Copeland. I'd like to see maybe them have a match with each other. I'm sure that'll transpire eventually, because now Kyle O'Reilly's back. He's starting to have more matches. I fucking love Kyle O'Reilly. I was watching him, obviously, in his Undisputed Era days, but also, like, when he started feuding with Adam Cole in NXT. That was one of the best feuds I've ever seen in my life, like, bar none. Oh, we had our good friend Jericho, the Learning Tree, Chris Jericho. I said it before, and I'll say it again. I don't want him on my screen, but this is a good gimmick for him, I suppose. So far up his own ass that he thinks everyone deserves to be learning underneath him. His fucking theme music before it comes on, I'm the Learning Tree. Anyways, FTW championship match, FTW rules against Katsuyori Shibata. This match over-delivered, in my opinion. I was not looking forward to it, man. It was really good, and it was really well-paced. Shibata did this really funny bit with the trash can where Jericho just kept hitting him with a kendo stick, and he just kept walking towards him with the trash can on. And it's just so funny, too, to see someone whose nickname is quite literally the Wrestler in like a hardcore rules match, and seeing, he's able to work it. They had a nice little spot with, you thought you were going to get thumbtacks, but instead out of the bag came hockey pucks, which I thought was a nice touch. They had Jericho's dad in the audience, which was cool. Overall, really good match. Eventually ends with Chris Jericho getting the W, retaining the title, getting some heat. Big Bill thinks he deserves to learn under the tutelage of Chris Jericho. He's like, I think I have all the tools necessary. I just need the proper guidance, and I think Chris Jericho can do that. It's just kind of a shame that, like, sure, you can put Big Bill with anybody, and he'll do great things, i.e. Big Cass and Enzo, i.e., Big Bill and Ricky Starks. That was really good. Where is Ricky Starks? I don't know. People are saying WWE. I don't know. I hope not. Actually, no, he might be really good in WWE. I just hope they don't fucking suppress him. Anyways, Big Bill and Chris Jericho are gonna align with each other. We'll see how it goes, is what I'll say. I just want Hook back to have the FTW championship. We had a handful of other stuff in between, but I want to talk about the big points. Orange Cassidy addressing Trent's whole heel turn on Chuck. He hoped the fight would kind of just be for them to, like, blow off steam and everything would be fine, but that clearly wasn't the case. Trent comes out, interrupting. Orange Cassidy's pissed. He starts running up the ramp. There's a little bit of a brawl. Chris Statlander's there trying to break it up. And then Don Callis comes out, and he's whispering something into Orange Cassidy's ear. And you don't know what he's saying, but he walks off with Don Callis. What the hell is going on? Are we going to see Orange Cassidy as part of the Don Callis family? I don't know, and I don't know how it would work, but I'm very interested to see what happens here. And then, of course, we had our main segment. I won't call it main event, but we had our little segment at the end with Kenny Omega returning to Winnipeg. And again, we were hearing reports that he didn't necessarily know he was going to be on next week, and I don't know if that's true or if he was just like whatever about it. Kenny Omega came out. I don't want to say he talked up the injury because diverticulitis is some deadly stuff, but he was saying he was 24 hours away from dying in the hospital instead of surgery. You know, he wants to heal naturally. He described himself as a ticking time bomb, and one wrong move could be over for him. He talks about his time on the shelf and just feeling useless, and he was getting like FOMO from not being a part of pro wrestling, and it just made him want it more. He said he'd exhaust any option, possible to recover in order to return to the ring as soon as possible. He addresses the Young Bucks, who fired him from the Elite, and he said, "I'm an EVP, you literally can't do that." And Okada comes out, and we rekindle an old flame. They have a stare down, and then Okada says, "I'm the new best bout machine." And then Jack Perry comes, blindsiding him. Kenny Omega fights back. He snapdragons Jack Perry. You're like, you should not be doing that. He teased the V-trigger. Okada trips him, and then Perry and the Bucks eventually outnumber Kenny Omega. FTR comes out, tries to save them. It was a really great segment to end Dynamite. Unfortunately, it transitions into Rampage, and he's getting wheeled out on a stretcher and in an ambulance, and you hate to see Kenny Omega in this position, but it really just sells how serious the injury is, and it built drama about the injury. So I think it's really important to know that when he comes back, it's on site and it's gonna be fucking awesome. Kenny Omega is one of my favorite wrestlers, top 5 easily. So I can't wait to see where this goes. It's gonna be killer. And just a quick run through of Rampage, for me, the highlights being Rocky Romero and Kyle O'Reilly. They have a great match, and Kyle O'Reilly wins in a shocking way. Rocky Romero and Kyle O'Reilly are both great wrestlers. I need to see more Rocky Romero because I don't care for him too much, and I want to. He's apparently like a bona fide star in Japan. That was a great match. And then we had Sky Blue and Will Nightingale in a Manitoba Massacre. We had barbed wire, we had tacks. Sky Blue is just like, again, another example of a homegrown star that's really starting to spread her wings and fly. She can hang with the best. She can hang with Willow Nightingale. She can hang with Statlander, Julia Hart. We're getting somewhere with Sky Blue, and I love that for her. I do wish she doesn't sell me on her promos as much as I think she could. She's still getting really good, and I'm really excited to see what happens with that. But Willow Nightingale retains, of course, and we're going to see her and Mercedes Moné at Double or Nothing in Mercedes' debut match. So let's fucking go, people. We're going to talk about Backlash later in the evening commute. I hope you decide to stick around for it. Mufussy will join me. We'll talk about everything. We'll see you in the evening commute, folks.
Hello and welcome to the evening commute for May 6th, 2024. On the heels of Backlash, I am joining Mr. Galeer. Hello, Galeer.
Hi, welcome to the evening commute. I am leaving work. You work from home, so you actually don't drive.
My commute was about half a second from my work desk to my streaming desk, so that's a long commute. We got a lot of matches to go over. We got a good show to go over.
Let's start with the fucking crowd, dude. I
absolutely
was talking
nutty
about them at the beginning of the episode. They were fucking litty. I don't want this to come off the wrong way, but they were almost annoying because they wouldn't stop, but I loved it. Something that really stood out to me was the fact that they were singing the words to everyone's song.
Even Randy Orton.
Also, Cody's music goes down in the main event, and they're still singing the words. They actually know the words.
Yeah, and it continued.
I'm out here, something Cody Rhodes. They actually know it.
Yeah, they just kept going, and they let them have their moment. One thing that is crazy with good crowds is when people are doing their entrances and the commentators just stop talking because they're letting the crowd do their thing. They did that for every fucking entrance.
Each set of entrances probably lasted about 10-15 minutes total. That's how crazy it was.
Did you see Vince Russo's tweet?
No, I don't follow Vince Russo.
I don't either, but I saw someone retweet it, and he said, because he watched SmackDown and said, this crowd is unbearable. And then he...
What?
Yeah, and then he said, someone commented and was like, yeah, they're kind of ridiculous. And he goes, I won't be watching Backlash then because I can't even pay attention. And I'm like, huh?
Okay, bye. We don't want you.
Yeah, like, what, dude?
That's kind of insane to, like, have that outlook on it. Like I said, it was, like, almost annoying, but not, like, in the sense, like, I couldn't stand it. It was just, like, wow, they're not stopping. That's kind of crazy. I feel like a crowd's good when the match is like they're loud at the high spots during it, but like even at like the face-offs, they're like, they're doing the like they're quieting down.
Yeah.
But it's not like chatter quiet down. It's like they're quieting down because they're like watching this match and reacting to it.
They're engaged in every second of the match, and it showed. It was fucking crazy.
First match, right? The Bloodline versus Orton and KO.
Yeah, which was on the card as a normal tag match. They start fighting, and Nick Aldis comes out, and he's like, fine, you don't want to follow the rules? It's a street fight. Crowd fucking goes crazy, dude.
Dude, I was going crazy. I was watching it on my phone in my bed, and I was like kicking my feet like a baby. I was so excited because I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And they actually they went to town. They never usually like go nutty with the no DQ matches. They're pretty tame, and this one wasn't. I could be wrong, but I thought I spotted like several like unprotected trash can shots to the head.
Oh, there was a
wrong.
few.
I don't
Dude,
know.
those trash cans fucking dented.
Yeah.
They went crazy, and it honestly set the energy for the whole pay-per-view. Like, I was on your side when you mentioned like you were a little nervous that it would just feel like a filler pay-per-view, and I agree with that. Like, the matches didn't really have much build to them, and they were like whatever.
They over-delivered.
Yeah, I guess overall they still kind of feel like filler, but it made it worth it because of how good the quality of the matches were solid. The only one I was like a little iffy about was the tag match. The second half of it was a little wacky. The tag match with the women's
tag match.
Yeah, the women's tag match. The second half of that was a little iffy for me, but I mean, overall, the rest of the matches, like, they were all solid.
I'm always happy when a show outdoes my expectations.
Yeah.
Hang on one sec. I'm just gonna run this into the post office. Oh, my door's locked. Oh, wait, you're coming with me again.
Oh.
Anyway, yeah, they definitely over-delivered, and I'm always, like, super satisfied when that happens. I feel like I felt the same way about AEW Dynasty. I keep thinking how crazy it was a year ago at Backlash, how that show was wild. And also an international crowd. I think... Well, I know that we're doing more international shows this year. I think we just need to keep fucking doing that. Clearly, like, they don't go to France enough. Clearly, they don't go to Puerto Rico enough. Like, we gotta just, like... We gotta give the people what they want. But that's part of it, too, is, like... I don't know if we just suck as... Well, I know we suck as a country. But, like, it feels special because it is.
And I feel like what needs to happen is... I saw this take as well somewhere else, but, like... If you keep the big four PLEs in the US and then make all the other ones international, I'd be okay with it. It would go hard. Yeah,
I'd be okay with that.
I mean, they'll probably eventually take fucking WrestleMania international too, because, like, why wouldn't they? That's money, bro.
Speaking of that, though, we got a crazy announcement that Mania next year is going to be in Vegas.
That's going to be a big one for sure.
We had a killer opening match. We got Tonga Loa, though, helping the Bloodline win. Brother of Tama Tonga. They were a very successful tag team in New Japan, and now they are both signed to WWE. I'm not very familiar with either of their work, but I know they're they're pretty big names internationally. So this whole new Bloodline thing is very interesting. Paul Heyman's scared shitless.
I think the whole bloodline civil war that's going to happen with like new bloodline versus old bloodline, because that's probably what's going to happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be very cool. I'm just interested to see how they're going to like, I imagine they're going to like reunite Roman and the Usos somehow. I'm just curious as to how that's going to happen, because, you know, they already fucking went through some shit.
I'm stoked on it. The French crowd was screaming, "We want Roman." So you got to imagine if he comes back, he's got to be a babyface.
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Which has never worked for him before.
Yeah.
Him being a babyface, and now he's set up. they were like, we did this for 5 fucking years. You better fucking cheer for him.
Next up, we had the triple threat between Bayley, Naomi, and Tiffany Stratton.
Oh, baby, it's Tiffy time.
Oh, it's Tiffy time. Honestly, Tiffany kind of carried the match. She's fucking crazy, bro.
No, she can hang. She can hang with the vets, dude. Her athleticism is very much giving like Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And not just because they look, you know, the same, but like she moves like Charlotte Flair. I don't know. She's got the. You look like a star. You talk like a star. You act like a. She's a star, dude.
Yeah, that match was definitely solid. They all had pretty like standout moments. Tiffany kind of shined above the other two, but you know, I thought it was a good ending to the match. Obviously, Bayley was gonna win. Like, they're not gonna give Tiffany the title immediately. She's definitely gonna get it in the future.
Oh yeah, she's former NXT champion too.
After that, we have Damian Priest and Jey Uso for the World Heavyweight title.
Such a good match.
Very, very good match. The way this went down is you have Damian and Jay, you know, doing their thing. Judgment Day, well, JD McDonough comes out, and Priest is like, "What are you doing?" Yeah, bobblehead man. He's like, "What are you doing? I don't want you out here. Like, I'm doing this." And Jay had the upper hand. Jay super kicks JD, and then they go back to doing their thing. JD interferes another time, and then Finn Balor comes out, interferes, and essentially gives Damian the win. But Damian's like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like, I didn't want you guys to help me. I wanted this to be my match or whatever." Judgment Day starts beating on Jay, and then Damian's like, "Yo," like he fucking pushes Finn like across the ring, and he's like, "Get off of him!"
Yeah, he's
like,
just like, "Stop, dude! Dude, they're like a pack of cats. Like they don't fucking listen." But also, it kind of like poses the question: can Damian Priest like actually do it by himself? Because we haven't seen that yet.
Yeah, he hasn't had a clean win by himself.
I think it's like planting some doubt in people's minds, so maybe it'll like set him up to actually like, you know, surprise people. Like, oh, he can do it, and then maybe he'll actually start looking a little more like a dominant champ. Do
you think from this Judgment Day is gonna like fully break up? Because what happens when Rhea comes back?
I think they're on their way. We've seen this movie so many times. Like, it happened when Finn was challenging for the world title, like a year ago. Same shit was happening, and he was like, there was those cracks when Priest had Money in the Bank and Finn was challenging for the title, and it's like, well, you know, like I want it. No, I want it. So. I think we just kind of have to wait and see. I don't think this is going to be the thing that stops it, because I think something like really bad has to happen. Or maybe they stay together till Rhea comes back. Who knows? I don't think it's happening now by any means.
I'm curious if like they break up before Rhea comes back and she comes back to just like ruins, or if it's like, you know, about to break up and then she comes back and like tries to fix everything and then it still doesn't work. I think a breakup is inevitable.
Yeah, I mean, Judgment Day's been a 2-year thing now, so
yeah,
I think it's almost run its course of faction lifetime. Jay had a good show, and we don't want to underscore any of this. Jay was,
oh my god, Jay's entrance, looking like a star. Dude.
I know, the whole crowd, the Fireflies. I've always been on the Jay train. You know, ever since they started main event Jey Uso as like a name for him, but like it's growing on me more. Actually, my partner Anna was watching that match with me, And she was like, what's with the yeet? That's like super cringe. And I was like, it is really cringe. But let me show you how it started. And I played the press conference video of him and Cody, like, drunk. She was like, okay, I love it a lot more now because of that. And that's just like, yeah, that's just like how it is. After
that, we had Jade and Bianca beating the Kabuki Warriors, winning the women's tag titles. They're a very good tag team. Bianca and Jade, I don't think there was any doubt about it. Jade actually finally, she did on SmackDown as well, which I know you said you didn't get to watch, but she's actually showcasing her moveset now and like what she can do because she wasn't in a squash match. She's crazy, man.
We talked about Jade, you and I, and you were like, I never watched her stuff in AEW, and I was like,
never.
What?
Yeah.
And it's crazy because like she had a lot of squash matches in AEW, but she also had a lot of like matches that actually showed her off. Her and Bianca is like the pairing I didn't think I would need for multiple reasons, but they are just like so dominant. They're fucking strong. Like that's it. They're just big,
they
strong
really
women.
are, dude.
And and like I'm in love with them, but also they're just like the way that Jade like slung Kyrie around and got her in the position for the fucking glam slam or the whatever it's called. Kyrie's just like a fucking ragdoll, and she's like, whoa, and I was like, yo, she put her down, and I was like, hell yeah, they won the titles, let's go.
Dude, like, absolutely flinging them around like they're nothing, just like fucking one arms her and just like yeet.
Really good finish. Again, I agree with what you said, like it dragged at some points, but it was like, you know, message received. We know who to pay attention to now.
And which brings us to our last match, Cody and AJ. Of course, Cody wins. It's a fucking good match. First one, yeah, we were talking about no doubt they're gonna have a good match, but it just feels like filler. They had a good fucking match, bro.
It didn't feel like filler. Like, it didn't feel as filler as I have made it out to be, and I like want to formally take away everything, like take back everything I said the other day, because I was like glued to this match. It felt like they had been rivals for like months, and this was like the rubber match or something. Like, it felt, strangely enough, it felt like Cody was re-winning the title, but again, I think that's due in part to like the awesome crowd that they had. AJ is 46 years old and looks insanely shredded. Like when and I know he left and then he came back from injury and then he's looked like that since, but I really like got a good look at him and I was like, oh my god. And I was like, hey Google, how old is AJ Styles? And then just immediately 46 years old. I'm like, what?
You're like, huh? I don't know if you caught, but Michael Cole said that AJ had gear made for himself that like represented the gear he wore when he beat Dusty Rhodes in NWA.
Really cool detail. It makes me think a lot about the Hell in a Cell match with Seth where he wore Dusty's gear. Almost like a mind game thing. Kind of heelish. Didn't really feel like he was a heel in this match, but that wasn't a bad thing. I think he didn't feel like a heel in the match because of the crowd. They were just like, they loved him. You could tell they really don't go to France a lot. My gosh. I'm sure they go for like house shows and stuff, but they need to go there more because these people seem deprived.
Yeah, I was very happy with the pay-per-view. Like we said, I wasn't super excited about it. Like usually I'm like, ooh, I gotta sit down and watch wrestling today. I was like, it's time to watch Backlash. I'll sit down and watch it.
I literally threw it on while I was playing Stardew Valley. It was a kind of put to the side, and then I realized very soon into it, I was like, oh,
yeah,
I'm paying attention to this.
Yeah, I did the exact same thing. Like I was gaming while I had it on my other monitor. I was gaming. I was playing fucking Destiny, I think, and I had it on my other monitor. And I literally turned off Destiny and I moved it to my middle monitor because I was like, oh, I'm gonna watch this. Like it's solid.
I've just received word from Reddit that Jerry the King Lawler is no longer under contract with WWE.
I saw that. He like quietly didn't renew.
It's just a broadcast contract, which he wasn't really like doing much at. Can't remember the last time I saw him.
Oh my god, Jerry the King Lawler and JR reunion on AEW Double or Nothing. They have to wheel them both out.
I want to go back to drop kicking the commute. So yeah, we'll see you in the next one.
Follow us on x.com, TikTok.
We got socials now, baby.
We got socials. We're officially launched on Spotify and YouTube. And go follow the TikTok because I'm going to post funny TikToks. All right, thank you, Galeer.
Yep, thanks.